Hey, aunties. It's Joan from Seattle. What's brewing today?
Quarantine, IG, and Pornhub.
Ask your aunties, invasion of privacy.
And what's your love language? So get your cups ready for MinoriTea Report.
You know, when we do that clap, we got to do the soul clap.
So,
Good morning, y'all.
hey, community.
Hey,
Good
community.
morning.
And they're probably like, what? Clapping?
Clap.
Just so you know, community, every time we start, we clap so we can see a spike in the wave file of where we start. Because a lot of times we'd be having a full-blown conversation before we even start the clap.
They don't even know.
They don't even
That
know.
conversation be on and popping. and then we have a whole other conversation.
So
But you know
do.
what? I find myself, though, like sometimes in those conversations, I find myself like, I'll say something and then I'll be finding like a rebuttal to to something else. I'm like, oh, I said this earlier. So when we get back to this on the podcast, I got a new answer now. So I'm gonna say what I said then, and I'm gonna say something new.
Right. Oh man.
It take a
Well,
whole lot of queens to produce this show.
So do.
Facts.
Well, hey, community. Welcome to day 294 of quarantine.
Girl, for real.
Right? Oh,
I hope
This
y'all
is like-
thriving and surviving out there. Shoot.
this is like week number 4 for a lot of people. This is like,
Yeah.
I mean, at least for us in New York, this is week number 4 of, you know, like what is it called? Stay at home, service at home, suck at home.
Lockdown, quarantine and chill,
Right.
quarantine life.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's wild. Like, and Atlanta just finally shut down the city last week. So we're just now into maybe about a week of the Atlanta lockdown. So I don't know. This is unprecedented still. Like it's interesting to go back and listen to the last 2, 3, 4 episodes of how this has progressed. And everybody's talking about it. Like, I know you guys are probably tired of talking about damn Corona, but it's just like, there ain't shit else going on.
But you know what? This reminds me a lot of Jussie Smollett. Because if you remember when we first started the podcast a year ago,
Yeah.
like when we literally one of our first episodes, that story was just breaking. And we were all like, ride or die for Jussie.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, you know what? They just trying to tear brother down.
Right.
You know, they trying to take all of us away. And then week
The
after
next
week,
week.
we're like, damn. And then we're like, damn. And
Speaking
then
of
by the
Jussie,
end,
he just put something on IG for the first time in like a year.
oh, really?
I guess at this point, we in the community hears it last week. Yeah. Like he put up him singing a song, or just like, I think of us hanging in there with the coronavirus and everything. But it was interesting that he just popped up out the blue.
You know, and y'all know our people. Y'all know there is at least one black person out there. Her or his name is Corona. And you know people are trying to tag that ass like, bitch, you got me fucked up. Like,
All the way.
I just want to meet somebody named Corona or Rona and be like,
Right. Hey, Rona.
hey, Rona.
And you know somebody's going to name their kid Corona this year. That's what's
Facts.
really going to happen.
You know it's going to happen.
Mhm. Because, you know, they were conceived because of the coronavirus.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I just looked up Jussie Smollett's Instagram and saw that video, and like this dude has the nerve to have a black T-shirt that's wrinkled as all get out.
Only
And-
Dawon would notice that it was all wrinkled.
I mean, because I'm not even listening to what he's singing. He's just sitting there singing, and it's like his laptop is in
Yeah.
between his legs, looking up at him, which is not a great angle. His hair is all
Girl,
messed up, like he's been in jail.
he part of the people again. So, you know, he ain't got those coins anymore.
he don't have the glam
That's
squad.
true.
Look,
No glam
okay?
squad.
He's a commoner again.
For real, okay? He part of District 11, okay? This is the Hunger Games now, bitch.
You got to go.
Struggle is real.
Welcome, Jussie.
Welcome.
Okay. Even.
Ooh, Lord.
And shout out to Joan for bringing us in with the intro today.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Yes,
boo.
Joni. Yes.
And as soon as
Thank
all
you,
this
boo.
is over, we're gonna have to make sure that we have dinner again, get some drinks. Well, she don't drink,
Right.
so I will drink.
She'll have
and we'll
hot
hang
water.
out. Right. But I'll cook, we'll take care of you, boo.
She said your auntie. She didn't even say your auntie. She said my aunties.
auntie.
I was like, okay, now that's like some Southern.
But yeah, but I hope everyone is doing all right.
Same here.
During all this. Look, I need some new music, y'all. Like,
yeah.
It's
like
wild because like
you know
everything is getting postponed
except for Dua
Music,
Lipa.
Gambino
videos.
snuck and dropped his though.
Yep.
And
Childish
it's good.
See, I just found out today that he dropped his. I hadn't
really?
even know. I didn't even know.
He dropped it last Sunday.
I
Mhm.
didn't even
Childish
know.
Gambino.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
about
I
to
heard
peep that
about that.
after today. Once we're off of this podcast, we're done recording. I'm about to listen to that today. And then Dua
Yeah, it's
Lipa,
good.
her album leaked last week, so she's actually going to release it this Friday. So we get new Dua Lipa music, which her album has just been about like that 80s dance, like have a good time.
Kind of like disco vibe.
Yeah, so I think her album is going to really thrive during this time because it's going to be that feel good music that like people just need to hear right now to just dance and just like get their spirits up, etc. I mean, you may be dancing by yourself, but look,
But hey,
But you know what though? Like now is the perfect time for like these artists to release music because people don't have anything else to do.
we sitting at home
You have 24
chilling.
hours in a goddamn day to listen to music, read books, listen to podcasts, and all y'all out there, make sure you tell your friends to subscribe and download MinoriTea Report.
We want to see y'all share at this time. Y'all ain't got nothing else to do. You already on Facebook. You already on IG. Share. Put a little post up saying, you know what, this is one of my favorite podcasts for my aunties.
Right.
Go ahead and do that.
Yes.
But another good album right now is Jay Electronica. So Jay Electronica was like
Who was
the
that?
up and coming rapper 10 years ago. And he just now finally put out his debut album. And it was a surprise because half the album, not even like majority of the album, has verses from Jay-Z on it. So he's been signed to Roc Nation for like a decade. It is so incredible. It's insane. And it shows that Jay-Z is still out here outspitting everybody. Like it's insane to me. The verses he has on this album, I'm like, how is Jay-Z literally still 25 years later out rapping everyone? Everyone.
I mean, when you are Beyonce's husband, you got to learn how to keep your game up too, because your wife can't be out here just leaving everybody behind and your ass, so you got to step your game up too. So
that's true.
So good for Beyonce's husband and and his protege.
Like, slip the panties right to the side. Ain't got time to take them drawers off
on sight.
Yeah.
No,
but
that's a good album.
Who else album is actually good too? The Weeknd. The Weeknd.
I've listened to the first three
it's good.
songs.
I like it. I mean, I don't love it. I like it. But don't watch the music videos because his. Look, you can tell he's doing drugs again.
He's trippy right now.
He going through some things. That's some heartbreak shit right there. He mad at somebody. I hope it's still ain't Selena Gomez. Look,
right, Selena got it.
I was just about to say, look, I hope he's still not mad at Selena Gomez. Like,
he's mad because she done made a whole album about Bieber and skipped all over him.
See, you know what?
That makes sense.
That's what it is.
That makes a lot of sense. I'd be kind of salty too. Like, damn, I meant nothing.
Made a whole record about Bieber like she ain't date The Weeknd for a year.
Damn. You know what? I mean, would you be salty though?
I'll be a little salty.
Would you be salty if your ex act like you just never existed? Like you just
right. It's like your heart was still broken from Bieber, and I came along
after that, right? I was after Bieber.
Yeah, I'd be a little salty.
Yeah,
dang.
I would be too.
That means The Weeknd's dick game ain't that good. Ooh, that's what that means. That's what that means. I figured it out.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Hold on. If your dick game is good, you ain't gonna have her singing and writing songs 5-6 years later after she broke up with Bieber.
I think Justin Bieber got that swag though. I think Justin Bieber just is packing for a white dude.
He is. I've seen the pictures.
Don't get sleep on him.
I mean, we already saw the pictures. He ain't that pack-in. But I think if you treat a girl, look, look by comparison, no.
Well, that's what I mean. Then the Weeknd's dick game really ain't that good then.
Oh.
But first of all, I mean, some people are growers and they are not showers. First of all, okay, you know, and he was in the water when y'all saw that photo anyway. So
true.
I'm trying to see it. Okay. I'm trying to see a bedroom photo. You know,
he's got the full hard one out there. The full hard one's out there. How I know, I don't know, but
that's why you auntie nasty. Exactly. She done seen some things and done some things.
I done seen some things.
She got that paid subscription to them celebrities nude sites, and she gonna know all the tea.
No, I don't go to them. Twitter, baby. Twitter got everything.
Twitter do got all the receipts though.
You see how this works, Jerrell? See, you start saying something that's in a completely different direction, then she outs herself. That's how this works.
Look. I'm not even mad. Like in Dawon's words, unbothered.
Unbothered.
Clearly. But you know what? There are guys that are out there that can mess you up, and it doesn't have anything to do with their dick game. They can just be horrible asshole individuals that treat you down, dirty, and wrong, and their dick game can be trash. And then you be extra salty because, like, damn, you gonna treat me this bad and you can't do me right in the bed? That's some messed up stuff.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I need to listen to the whole Weeknd's album. Like, even on Tidal is weird. Like, his album cover, like, you know, his album cover is the one where he's like bloodied up and everything. Mm-hmm. On Tidal, they have these like new interactive album covers. Yeah. And it's like changing colors while you're listening to it on your phone. And it's bizarre. And it's just him and that scary like album cover that he got going.
I told Fiznik the other day, I was like, because he released another video like Friday or something like that. And I was like, your man on drugs again. Like because like in the music video, like it's almost like I forget the name of the song, but in the music video, he's almost like Jason, and so he's like chasing this girl, this black girl with this nasty trash ass blonde ass wig on. She a black girl with this blonde wig on. It's trash, and she's like bloody, and she's like running, and she's like in this nightclub, and he's like just standing there with his big ass knife, just like looking at her, just staring. It's it's creepy. He just like he's popping up out of place. No. And then all of a sudden she takes this axe and she decapitates him. And then she's just like dancing with his head in her hand. And she's like making out with him on the dance floor. And
didn't Kathy Griffin get like completely like completely like ignored and like blacklisted for doing the same thing
because of doing that to Donald Trump? So that's pretty much what happened to him in the music video. And I was like, this shit's fucked up. Like I didn't even want to focus on the song because the music video, I was just like, I want to understand what was the artistry behind this and what was behind his thought process of creating this. Like, why? I just...
You know what my grandmother says? Baby, we are living our last days.
Look, after that
feels like it's some of these days.
Girl,
look, after that music video, he lived his last day after that music video.
Blood is on the dance floor. Blood is on the knife. Sorry, a little MJ there. But it makes me wonder, though, you know who's been mighty quiet? Beyonce, mighty quiet. She hasn't put anything on IG in like 2 months or since the Super Bowl. So I'm like, okay, Beyonce, are you about to slay us with something out the blue?
You know what? If Beyonce drops something right, world stop. You can't carry on, bitch, because you at home. So,
right?
Look, what you gonna do?
Nothing. Sit here and still be slayed.
Houses will be on fire. Okay? Like relationships are going to end because motherfuckers can't go nowhere. Everybody that's single gonna be in their goddamn fields because you can't go no damn where. If Beyonce drops an album right now, she gonna fuck people's lives up.
Bitch. All the way up.
But I'm here for it.
The only thing is like, how is she going to do a video? That's the only thing in my head. Unless she does something just like it's just her, or she does like TikTok videos, kind of like she did like those 7-Eleven. Remember that video? Something
but you know
like
what
that.
though? But you know what though? She works on this stuff like months ago. So
yeah, that's true.
I mean, she could have been working for the last year on building out something or whatever, and then just decide to drop it early.
But you know what? I can see her just dropping something and not giving us music videos though, because I mean, like since B-Day, every album has been a visual album. Every single song has had a music video. And it would not surprise me if right now she took the opportunity and be like, guess what? I don't need to give these bitches a visual album because a bitch can't do nothing. So I'm just going to release this album. And guess what? I don't got to worry about giving y'all no visual album.
Would you be okay with that, though?
I would be okay with it.
I mean, it's Beyonce.
I would be okay with it.
It's Beyonce, though.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
We'll
it's Beyonce.
Look,
right,
she came out with her own version of The Lion King, bitch, and we all went batshit crazy.
Okay, for real. I will say this. I will be okay with it because I know her and I know what she would do because, again, she's an entrepreneur. She's just really smart. Once the pandemic is under control and people out there, she will re-release and a special edition album. And then that's when all the music videos will come out with it. Okay. That's what she would do. She would just release all the tracks now and then give us a part 2 with all the albums. I think she did. Did she do that with Beyonce, with the Beyonce album?
No, that one came with all the visual ones at one time.
Oh no, she came out with it, but I don't think she released she released them she put them out there, but she didn't put them on the album until a special album because it was a special edition
at the same time.
Yeah,
the music videos
still won't get off my phone.
No, it was a plus one because it was a plus one because Grown Woman was on that one too, and Grown Woman's not on the regular album. There's 2 albums because Grown Woman is
album.
Yeah,
she had the album and the visuals at the same time because it literally refuses to come off my phone, which is not a bad thing.
Right, but I can guarantee you can find on your phone though. There's 2. There's the special edition one, and then there's the regular one because there are 2 songs. Grown Woman, and what's the other one that she didn't release first?
Yeah, because even Grown Woman leaked before, or it didn't leak. Grown Woman had the video, but wasn't on the album.
That's what I meant. The videos came out, and then she did a special where she included the the actual music videos too.
At the same time, community, let us know. I think it all came out at once because I remember being in the car downloading all of it and being like, "Damn, I can't even watch the videos in the car right now because I'm in traffic."
I lost complete interest in this whole conversation.
You lost interest in Beyonce?
Not in Beyonce. No, not in Beyonce, but in this conversation. Y'all talking about some shit that happened 15 years ago.
But you're right, though.
I mean, she said world stop, and she still trying to carry on.
Still picking up the pieces, okay?
Oh, man, but yeah.
But the real question would be, when or if she does decide to drop something, what is it going to be like? In my mind, I feel like she's got to do something that's pull back, something that's more stripped down, all vocals, more soulful and I'm trying to think.
I think she has years to do that. So I think she's still got one more. I'm about to slay these motherfuckers. This body's still looking nice. Before I turn 40, I'm gonna give you one more crazy dance album.
But see, I think she's got a whole bunch of years of that. I think she's got a whole bunch of years of that though. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like it would be interesting. She's been coming out with these hard hitters for so long and getting her point of view out and really celebrating Black excellence in all these different genres. It would be kind of interesting to see something that's a little bit more soulful and I don't want to say reserved, but raw.
I think if she gives us another album, I think she's going to give us another album 4.
Right.
That's the kind of album that I see as giving.
Because I still think she feels 4 was slept on.
Yes.
Which it was.
It really was.
This is true.
She's like, I gave you this hard-ass R&B album. Yeah. Your ass has slept on me. So, you know what?
But
I'm going to give y'all some other shit real quick, but I'm going to come back and circle around back to this.
And you know what? If somebody could actually bring R&B back, it would be Beyonce.
I don't think it would be Beyonce, if I'm being completely honest.
I don't think so.
And the only reason because
I'll stand on this island all by myself.
And the only reason why I say this because so much of her platform was built on pop. So much of her platform was built on pop. So,
but she does R&B so well, though.
She gives us moments still.
She does. But if she want those coins, she gonna want the white people coins. She gonna go out there and she gonna keep doing that. She gonna keep getting those.
And I always say, I think R&B is still here. It's just a little less melanated.
Yeah, absolutely. You said that the other day when I said how good Justin Bieber's album was.
Yeah, it's just a little less melanated. And then you hit me and I was like, damn, you're right. It is R&B gentrification. Like, exactly. But the album is dope. It is an R&B album. And I was like, fuck. Mm-hmm. Grande's last albums are R&B albums.
So switching gears a little bit, what do you think Missy Elliott's album is going to be about? Because Missy gives you like R&B down.
I don't know, and I think I'd be surprised if she actually releases another one this year.
Yeah,
honestly,
same.
Like she says she's going to, but I don't think she's going to. But speaking of Missy, it makes me think though. Last night I didn't go to bed till 2 a.m. because I was watching the Swizz Beatz Timbaland beat battle on IG stories. Bitch. They was just dropping hits after hits after hits after hits after hits after hits. Like, it was insane. They had up like 24,000 people at like 2 a.m. still watching them beat battle their hits back and forth. Like, Swizz would drop Shake Your Tambourine, Go and Get Yourself a Whistle, and then Timbaland would drop like bonk, 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 bonk. Like, and then Swizz would drop Stop, Drop, Shut Her Down Over the Stop, and then Tim would drop If It's Worth It, Let Me Work It. Like, it was insane, and it was going on for like 4 hours. Like, it was so insane. Like, I was a kid in a candy store. Like, that, I couldn't get any happier in that moment.
You know, speaking of people on Instagram, like, a lot of celebrities have been on IG lately. Like,
they ain't got shit else to do.
I mean, like, I literally would go on IG and I would see like 7 celebrities live.
Yeah,
and I was like, God damn!
I know.
Have you guys been watching anybody live at all?
I have.
I love it.
Who you been watching?
I've been watching Rodney Jerkins has been doing a lot of lives where he's breaking down a lot of his hits. Like, a lot of the ones I watch live are people either explaining their song, so it's just like the producer part of me in it. D Nice, everybody's going crazy over D Nice doing these dance or these DJ sets, which I love D Nice's because it's literally 150,000 people watching them, and like Michelle Obama's in there, or Oprah's in there, Missy's in there, like all these celebrities are watching him.
I didn't know that.
And he's playing like black music. Like, it could have been a Skrillex or the Calvin Harris's of the world doing these DJ sets, but no, the world is captivated by D Nice, and he's playing black music, like songs from the 70s, like obscure.
So it's
people.
It's like Come to the Barbecue.
It's the barbecue, and it's everything.
It's the barbecue and the basement party with the red light.
And it's everything, and everybody's in it. Like, he was just on Jimmy Fallon's been doing his show from home, so he Skyped in with Jimmy Fallon the other day. He's been on CBS this morning. Oprah just interviewed him yesterday. Like, he's blown up this DJ.
I ain't seen none of this.
Girl,
I've seen a lot of
he does it every day around like, what time is it now? Like maybe like 5, 6 o'clock, and he does it for like 2-3 hours. And he's blown up this last week for doing these DJ sets. D Nice.
What's his handle? DJ Nice?
Just D Nice. DNICE.
Yeah, I've been seeing like a bunch of people post stuff, but a girl's been working. I mean, I feel like I'm getting the raw end of the stick here because like, while everybody's working from home, they all getting breaks. Like, you know, they out here watching movies and like, you know, building little picnics and all this shit. And I'm like, I am working my ass off. Like, and usually like, you know, when I'm in the office or whatever, you know, the three of us, we text each other all the time. But like, I mean, you guys know, it's like, you don't hear from me from like,
she really has been crazy. We've been like, Dawon,
you there?
Hello?
Is the mic on?
Page and Miss Hawkins.
Right,
so like,
exactly. It is true.
I feel so bad, but I'm like, and like, I just like, and I can't even keep up with the conversations because like, you know, work has been, at least these last couple of weeks have been so like fucking busy. And part of it is because I got added to this coronavirus task force and like, we're just 100% in reaction mode. So literally I'm getting text messages and emails and phone calls right now while we're recording, you know, for shit that they want me to do some stuff on. And 8:00 at night. And usually this is like, starts around 9:00 in the morning and goes to about 11:00 every single night for the past, with the exception of one weekend, this past weekend. So it's been
a hard thing
tough.
for you because it's kind of an up and coming company. So I'm sure they really don't have a lot of the protocol. I mean, no company in the world has a protocol for this situation.
No,
but if you're an up and coming company,
we have
setting precedent.
Right. We have 100 and maybe 40 people that are in our corporate office.
Yeah.
Well, that work for corporate. And then the rest of our people are in the field. But like my team, usually I have a team of 3 or 4, or whatever. I have a team of, me and one other person. But I'm a rarity. Like, it's literally like, if you want to talk to marketing, it's one person. If you want to talk to IT, it's 2 people. Well, actually, IT is, I think, like 7 people right now. But at the end of the day, there's literally like one person per department. So, when shit needs to get done, it's literally all hands on deck. So it's been a challenge. And I feel bad because like I want to be participating in like all the stuff that everybody else is participating in. But like, damn, I gotta work.
It's like, I want to play too.
Right.
I feel that. But honestly though, like, I mean, it's been cool with all the, like the celebrity Instagram lives. Like, it's been cool just to be like, to see them singing and then be like, oh, you can actually sing. Okay. Like, I'm gonna go, look at your album some more, some albums that I hadn't listened to because I now know you got vocals. So I'm gonna give your record the time of day. So it's been nice.
Have you watched Tori Kelly's?
Oh, Tori Kelly,
honey.
Bitch. She is doing the
honey.
Oh, girl, that bitch can sing. And the other day,
I want to throw my phone.
Look, every time. And she sang with JoJo the other day.
Yeah. Oh,
and
I missed that one.
Oh, bitch, they sang.
I want them to do a song together so bad.
Hold on. You know what song they did? Guess what song?
What?
Guess what song?
Let me think. Hold on.
You know the song.
Is it a duet song?
Yes, it is a duet song.
Oh, wow.
The duet song of the 90s.
Mariah and Whitney?
Yes, they did, bitch.
No!
Yes, they did, bitch.
I missed that?
Bitch, they fucking did that. I recorded it. I'm going to send you the video. I recorded them doing it. They fucking did that. Tori Kelly sang Whitney's part. And JoJo did Mariah's part.
Shut up. Because I saw Tori Kelly when she was with Alicia Cara.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw when Tori sang, what song did she sing the other day? She's playing the guitar. I forget right now. So, damn, how did I miss that? I so want JoJo. I've always said it, that I want JoJo and Tori to do a fucking song together. And
yes,
they did a duet.
Yes,
they did. Stand it.
Yes. And JoJo has been doing Instagram Live for about like a week now.
She has.
And she has been singing her ass off. I love her. And then also her as well has been on there.
Seen that. No, man. See, you've seen more than I have.
Let me tell you, she'd be like, I just want to vibe out. I just want to vibe out with you. I just want to vibe out with y'all. And then she'd be like, no. And she just started going. I was like, oh.
It's like this bitch.
Girl, I'd be so mad at her. I want to throw my phone because I'd be like, how you just, and she just busts out some Stevie Wonder like it ain't nobody business, bitch. And she'll just be playing the guitar.
Right.
And I'd be like, fuck, I need an album. Like, I need an old school album from her. Like, I want her to do a cover album.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That would be a dope ass album. And she might be releasing some music too. She says she might be releasing her music, her next album during the coronavirus too.
Hey, might as well. And literally just do a little you don't even need nowadays a full-blown production video.
Show down.
If you could be creative enough on your phone nowadays. Literally, the Stupid Love video by Gaga was filmed on an iPhone 11.
Yeah, it sure was.
And obviously they have the iPhone rig and everything to stabilize it and stuff like that. But you could do things literally in your home.
Yeah,
and
sure
put
can.
on a full-blown whatever
production.
if you're creative enough and patient enough.
Girl, when I saw that T-Mobile commercial and I found out that music video was done with the iPhone 11, I fell the fuck out. I was like, so that's why I didn't like it.
The camera is pretty good, I have to say.
I know Dawon been posting his little pictures. And I'm like, okay, look at Dawon with these professional pictures and poses out in the city, out and about in the corona minefield.
Girl, did I tell you they came for me on Facebook? because I posted my little like shit or whatever.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, girl, you better stay your ass inside.
I mean, but the reality...
Don't get sick on us.
The reality of it is that okay, so let me just explain, because most people came in different pieces, okay? Number one, I actually had to go to work. I had to go to my office because I have a zip drive that was in my office, on my desk, that has some files that I thought I was going to be back to work in a couple of weeks. And so it wasn't a big deal that this was in my desk. I was like, okay, well, I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Not a big deal. This thing was in my desk. So I'm like, I can't move forward with like these 3 other projects, big projects I've got going, until I get my zip file that has the actual source documents that I need. So I'm like, I gotta go there. And the best thing I can do is I can go there, rather early in the morning when I know the building is open and there's not a lot of people out, because I have to do it. There's just no way around it. So I'm like, okay, well, since I have to go there anyway, I might as well.
Let me do a photo shoot.
Right. Let the community see how cute I really is. See these freckles.
Like, you see this outfit. You see me. You see it.
But no, I did like a couple little videos, and I did a couple little lives, because I knew that it was going to be like Deadsville, and no one. I've never, in the decades that I've been coming to New York, I've never seen New York not busy. And it was.
How does it feel? Is it like peaceful almost? Like, or is it like eerie?
It's eerie. It's kind of like if you've ever been in the South when there's like a tornado getting ready to like hit, and it's like eerily quiet, and then you can hear like shit like rustling as they're like being blown down the street. That's how it feels. It was so awkward and weird and So, but they came for a bitch. They're like, you need to be home. I'm like, you know what? I know normally I would be home, but this is an emergency because I need to keep this job. So I am getting this fucking zip drive. And if I happen, since I'm already out, I'm going to give you a show. You should be glad that you see it. What the fuck is going on in New York while you out there in fucking Columbus, Ohio? Ain't nothing going on out there. Shit.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
They came
Tell them how you feel.
I know.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, girl, stay your ass inside. And like, because my thought was like, oh, she got like dressed up. Like, it was like a regular ass day. I was like,
she hadn't showered.
I was like, where's she fit to go?
Mm-hmm. No, look, my thought process was I wanted to have a hat. I wanted to have a jacket that wasn't porous. So shit just, kind of bounces off or whatever.
Yeah,
I hadn't even showered yet. I threw on a flannel, a leather jacket, some jeans and some boots and some gloves so I can get the fuck out there. I was gone for literally 45 minutes. Get down there.
And
I was in the
that's
office.
her sensible outfit, okay? That's her to go. That's her to go.
Like, she looked cute. She looked cute as hell.
She didn't say like just a regular ass t-shirt, some sweatpants, some tennis shoes, No, bitch.
She said, I got this flannel from Scott and Soda, this leather from Prada, this
I mean, a girl can't help what's in her closet. But what I did do is I didn't touch anything. I didn't have to touch any handles. I didn't have to touch any buttons at all. I had on gloves or whatever. When I got home, I peeled everything off. I left all my outer layer stuff in the hallway in direct sunlight so that it can be disinfected. And the clothes I had on my body, I threw them right in the washing machine. And then I hopped right in the shower, scrubbed the bitch down. So I did all the shit that I needed to do.
Scrub the ground. I know that's right, girl. I have not left the house. There was a couple days there I didn't even go outside. I was like,
that was us for the last couple of days.
So we could, like our governor said, like still, you can go outside and go for a walk. Like if you're a family, then yes, you can be like family group together, whatever like that. But don't meet up with other people, if y'all don't live together. But they still encourage, go out for your daily walk. Make sure you focus on the social distancing. You can go for a run. Don't gather for sports at the, for pickup basketball or soccer or tennis or anything like that. Like, yes, kick a soccer ball around back and forth for like 15, 30 minutes. keep it moving. Like just don't be
Right.
congregating and hanging out just to hang out.
I don't want that Rona. And the
Right.
pollen right now is crazy too in Atlanta. Like
Yep.
my car is yellow.
It's really
wow.
I have not moved that car.
Yeah,
And
so we went for a walk
ran
last
to get
week.
eggs the other day. I'm like, bitch.
Girl, his post today, what he did with the power wash.
I'm like, that is my husband. So community, if you didn't see, I posted it on IG. So literally I was on a work call and I was like, okay, usually Corey, like, especially now, there's certain times where Corey just gets needy and he's just like trying to barge into the room or, Corey, what are you doing? Or da-da-da. And it's almost like the dog. I was like, he's been mighty quiet. Like,
that sounds just like me. Oh my God.
And literally I go downstairs. I'm like, where's Corey? Because the dog was downstairs in his bed. I'm like, and I look out, back. And I see him with the power washer because we just got a new power washer. We went to Amazon.com, so we didn't even leave the house for that. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he's power washing the driveway or whatever. And I'll go out there, and literally what I posted was literally what I saw in that moment was Corey making designs and flowers with the power washer in the driveway. And literally our whole driveway right now is like different designs of flowers. It looks cute as hell.
It's actually really cute.
Awesome.
I was like,
really
wow,
cute.
she is really artistic. Like,
But
that was cute.
I was like, I know my honey is bored as hell right now because he's out here with the power washers making flowers in the driveway.
But I can't be mad at it because it's times these days with this quarantine. You gotta find entertainment where you can, and when your man can't entertain you, you entertain yourself. Ow!
It's so nice being in a relationship because I was really nervous about how it was going to work out between like me and Adam being 100% working and living in the same space, for however long. And, we've been able to make it work. And I'm so grateful because I think that if I were alone, I would go crazy. I would legit be crawling the walls, needing some kind of human connection at some way in some point. I don't know how I could do it without him.
It's so funny. Like, I'm actually, it's funny. Like, in my relationship, I am one of my love languages is physical touch, and then signs of affirmation. So I can come across as the needy one in the relationship, but it's just my love language. That's what I need. Right. But when I'm single, I can sit in my room by myself and binge watch all sorts of shit for hours, take several naps. Like, I am okay being by myself.
See, I'm okay being by myself, but I'm a highly social person and it doesn't mean that I need to have the same person around me or whatever, but I do, I love spending quality time with other people. That's what gives me life. And the idea of being, if I'm thinking back over the last 3 weeks that I've been working like a dog basically for this entire time, and to not have any other person around, I will be climbing the walls.
Yeah, but that is interesting because I am very social, but then on the flip side, I don't mind being by myself at times either. And I could entertain myself, whether it be creating music or watching something on TV or binging YouTube even, So it is true, though. I don't know what my situation would be if Corey wasn't here. If I, by this point, would be like, oh, my God, I need to go out and have a drink with somebody or whatever. But the cool thing, too, is it's cool to find different means and avenues right now. The house party app, I know a few people, few friends have gotten that. And we hop on there and have a little cocktail hour.
Yeah, we did on Saturday. That was cute.
Play the little trivia games that's on it. Get that little social interaction, and it almost feels like you were with them in the same room in a weird way, So it's cool to be able to see the different avenues and what people are coming up with to fulfill that need, whether it being you're more introverted and want to stay home and be by yourself and not be bothered, or you're extremely extroverted and social and trying to find the avenues to fill that void. But
I got 4 days. I got 4 days by myself, and then I'm bored. And it's not I love spending time with myself, but the reality of it is I'm a highly, highly extroverted person, and I get my energy. And people confuse like introversion and extroversion from like people who are just loud and people who are quiet, because that's not what it is. Extroversion and introversion is where you get your energy from. And so there are a lot of people who are like socially extroverted, but they are physically introverted, meaning they have to retreat back to themselves, in order to recenter, regroup, block everybody out and blah, blah, blah. I'm not like that. I get my energy from the people that are around me and from the things that are around me. And if I'm locked in with just myself for 4 days or more, I'm climbing the walls.
And see, I did my Myers-Briggs test, and I am 60% extrovert and 40% introvert.
I think that's what mine is.
I'm like right there in the middle. So I'm good. Like either way, I thrive. I'm going to be just okay.
I'm going to figure it out.
Right. It literally just depends on the situation. But I kid you not, like, and Physic would tell y'all too, like, when we are home, like, I'm always like, I want to hold your hand. I want to touch you. No. But then when, like, he's not here, like, I have zero desire to do that. It's just when he's around, I'm like, man.
Right.
And I'm like, but you be doing the most sometimes,
That's funny.
I mean, don't deny my love. Just let me be me.
It's so funny. Corey is such not a touchy-feely person until when he feels he wants to be touchy-feely. And you can never you can never figure it out. And sometimes it's like in the parts where I don't feel like being touched and needy, anything. I'm like, just get off of me. But he's like, oh, but I just want to put my leg on you. And this, I'm like, I'm not in the mood today. Like all the other times where I want to hold your hand and this and that, you don't feel like it. And then the one day I don't feel like it, that's when you want to be needy.
See, that's my tell. Like if I don't want to do that, I'm mad. Like,
oh, really? Okay.
Yes. Like that's how I'm like, oh, something ain't right. What's going on? How you doing? And of course I'll be that person. Nothing. I'm good.
No.
I'm okay.
That's funny.
I'm working on it. Okay. I'm working on it.
There we go. Hey,
she picked up a couple of feelings last year, so who knows what she'll pick up after the end of the coronavirus. So
look, I'm gonna be a whole new person after this pandemic. Girl, I'm gonna step outside.
360 degrees of emotions.
She's gonna come out this cocoon of corona like
this
like Diana Ross or something.
She's gonna be Iyanla.
The big old wig. Come on, wig.
Right.
She's gonna be Iyanla.
I love you. But for those that are single and at home, just to let you know, Pornhub got that premium feature for free for the next 30 days. So go on and get you that premium porn and call it good, girl.
Look, I mean, just don't lose the toilet paper up.
I guess what's the difference between the regular and the premium?
I don't know. What's regular ass Pornhub and premium Pornhub? I don't know.
I think the regular gets you like, just basically everything you want to search. But then I think the premium, there are like certain either stations and or videos that are kind of like locked down.
You see how Dawon knew that, right? Y'all talk about me.
Hold on.
Came real quick with the answer.
But why would the video be locked down?
I do not deny or deflect or try to assuage the things that I know. I come out 100%.
She said, actually, you get more bandwidth, the HD feature, and then. She's like, there's no ads either.
You get less ads, exactly. No pop-ups or ads.
She's like, you can actually download it to your mobile.
You can save it to your favorites, okay? Save it to your profile. Your recently watched.
Look, she may be Auntie Chardonnay, but she is certainly not Auntie Water. Don't get it twisted. And if y'all listen to last week's episode, y'all know a bitch has lived. So
that is true.
She has had quite the experience.
I cannot even. Yeah, no, I mean, for y'all single people, take advantage of that. And we believe in y'all, stay home.
And your non-single people, because I might take advantage of this shit.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm going to just gander on over to that new section. Be like, oh, I didn't even know this section was here.
See.
It's like, ooh, I didn't know that was back here. Okay.
So remember a couple of episodes ago when we had the husbands on, our 50th episode, and one of the things that was in, because I forget what the question was, but one of the things that that was asked, and I'm going to paraphrase because, a bitch, she can't remember anything specific. the generalities.
I know what question this is.
But it was like, what is your fantasy or something like that? And for Adam, he wants us to like watch porn together because we've been together for 5 years, but we've literally have never watched porn together. So we might have to check that out. Wait, he said that
on that episode? I missed that.
I missed that too.
He might have told you.
He might have told you that.
He didn't tell the community, and that's that.
Oh, that's right. We were on
mute. Ooh, okay then. Just put his business all on the street. And that explains why they have Pornhub Premium. That's why he knows all the features now. Okay, we got it.
A girl had to do the research.
Like Jerrell and I were looking at each other like, wait, he said that? I don't recall
he said that.
It was said in one of our conversations. Maybe it wasn't on the air. But
oh man. Well, have you made it happen?
No, we haven't. But you know what?
Okay.
I think we might be doing that tonight.
You got some time. You got some time on your hands, girl.
We have plenty of toilet paper.
Sorry, Adam.
That's all right. Adam don't listen.
Oh, you're right. That's true. He don't be hearing all the episodes.
No, he don't be listening to all the epides.
Right. Oh,
he say he do, but he don't.
But you know somebody in the community about to snitch on your ass right now, girl. Right. Let me tell you what Chardonnay said.
The question is, who is it going to be? Like, who is it? Is it going to be Joan? Maybe it might be Joan. Would Joan snitch?
And she's the opener, so she can listen to the episode too.
Right.
She gonna text Adam real quick. Oh my God.
And I can hear her saying it right now. Just because you said I am, I'm about to do it right now too.
Right. And you know what made that just even more funny? Is because he prefaced it with, I don't be remembering anything.
Right.
And
it's
he just
the
proved
gist,
it.
though. It's just the gist.
Oh Lord. Oh, I'm sweating. That's funny.
But okay, we got, what time it is, right?
I think it is that time.
I think it is too.
I think so. What time is it?
Ask your aunties.
Oh man, and we have a juicy one today. Girl. Okay, this one is anonymous. We've been keeping all these anonymous ones.
Oh my God. See, okay,
why
wait a minute.
Be anonymous?
How is it that we gonna put all our business out there and y'all be all up in our DMs spilling all the tea, but then you want to be like, oh, but keep me anonymous.
Come
on now.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I
know. It reminds me of what's her name from Mad TV. She'd be like, I heard Keisha, but you didn't hear it from me. I ain't want to gossip.
That's the living color, girl.
Yeah, that's the living color.
Bonita Betrayal.
Yes, the living color. Yes.
But you ain't hear from me.
But you ain't hear from me.
Miss Jenkins. I'm dying for somebody says something bad about Miss Jenkins.
Ooh,
but
girl,
don't go
she
over
was
her
doing
house,
it with
though.
the pastor. Right.
She got so many roaches, they rattle around the dune buggies. But you ain't heard that from me. I ain't want to gossip.
That is such a good sketch.
I love that sketch. It's so good.
That whole show made Sunday night like the night. That was like when it was on TV, Sunday night on Fox. That was like the night. Oh my God!
Wait, was it Sunday nights or was it Saturday night?
No, it was Sunday because it was after. It was after. Wait. Okay, wait a minute.
It was Saturday night.
Was it Saturday? No,
I think it was right before SNL for some reason, or right at.
No. Mad TV was Saturday night. Sunday night was Sunday night because I remember we would have Sunday night dinner and watch it, and I also remember that it would come on right after all the football, which we never watched. And if our parents had football parties or whatever, then at 8:00 we'd be able to watch that.
Okay.
Sunday.
Oh man. Okay. Sorry. Back to Ask Your Aunties.
You just went on a whole tangent.
Show did. All right, so it's a long one, but it's a juicy one. So it says, I'm a single man, so at least it's a man that is in the dating scene. I recently went on a date with a guy and things went really well. We were vibing and we ended up hanging out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. No, we did not have sex. On Sunday, I decided to invite him over and cook him a meal. Dinner went really well and he had to go and use the bathroom. I left my iPad in there. And this is where things get interesting. I have also been talking to another guy since I'm in the dating scene, and bathroom guy decided to go through my iPad and saw messages between me and the other guy and got in his feelings about it. We talked it out. I let him know how I felt it was an invasion of privacy. However, I was really enjoying him and kind of thinking about giving him a second chance since I explained myself. But am I crazy for overlooking this red flag?
Yes.
Yes, you are crazy.
Yes, 100%. There's no question about it. And the reality of it is that you shouldn't have to apologize for people. First of all, you're single. And the reality of it is that it would be expected that you are talking to other people. What I would be furious about is this person who you really don't even know, and clearly you don't know, because they went into your shit. And had you thought that they were going to go in your shit, you probably wouldn't have left it available in your own bathroom. So the fact that this person felt comfortable enough in this time period where you're supposed to be getting to know each other, you're supposed to be on your best behavior, that they decide to invade your privacy by looking at your stuff on your iPad? No, ma'am.
And the fact that you are making this person a meal too, like you brought that person to your house to do a nice gesture and cook a meal for they ass, and then they still go and snoop through your shit. Like that's a sign right there that there is no trust. And honestly,
100%.
Like if there's no trust in a relationship, there is no foundation in a relationship, and you might as well just end it, keep it going, and keep it fucking moving.
And keep talking to that other guy you're talking to.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, wow. Yes, you're crazy for ignoring the red flag if they have the nerve to do this literally on, like, in essence, the third date. It's like, yes, you might have been hanging out all Friday, Saturday. You didn't even give up the goodies or nothing. So for him to be this attached and this almost psycho from the get-go, to be going through your shit like that in
but
your
now
crib,
I feel bad
after the meal.
But now I feel slightly bad, and I only say this just because we all have our baggage, you know?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
so like a part of me also just can't help but wonder, and now I can understand why he might want to give this person a second chance, because we don't know the conversation had between the two. And that person could have just came out of like a very toxic relationship where they were just that hurt. It doesn't make it okay, but this could be just a learning lesson for that person. And the person actually might just learn their lesson from that. Like, because they may have not been in a situation to actually learn that lesson since their last toxic relationship, if that was the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, you have to learn. Sometimes you don't know you have baggage until you're into a situation. And then once you're in it, you're like, oh, I see.
Damn, I got a whole Louis Vuitton situation going.
But some people don't need the whole long time period to understand. Okay, I fucked up. I need to fix it. Some people be like, "You right? I'm checked. I'm good. We're good." You know, some people don't need years of therapy to get over some situations. Something they can just be like, you know what? I need to just let that go, and I need to move forward and be on with my life. So maybe the person that was snooping, maybe they were coming off the tail end of something and they just couldn't help themselves because of it. And after their conversation, because it sounded like they had a conversation, the person is willing to forgive them and give them a second chance. So obviously something in that conversation happened where the other person might have had an issue and had understand that they were wrong and is down to fix it. Do you get what I'm saying?
I totally get what you're saying, but no. Here's the thing, you teach people how to treat you. And if you are invited over to my house, it is with the understanding that you are not going to be snooping in my stuff. He could be saying, you know what? I saw this guy's, username and password to his bank account on his dresser because I just happened to be in his bed and I wrote it down or I memorized or I took a picture of it. And then I just started watching what he was spending his money on. And I saw that you went out to dinner with somebody.
We're talking about dating though. We're talking about relationship. We're talking about putting your heart on the line. No, this is different. Like, we're talking about the thought.
It's not that different.
No, yeah, because when you think about trust, especially when, for instance, like if you've been cheated on before, that is something that is, it can be hard to let go because you start asking yourself those questions like, well, what's wrong with me? Or like, you know, did I do something wrong? Or how can I be better? Like there are things that come from it that can be damaging but you might not know that it's toxic until the next person comes along to teach you that you got shit to work on. You get what I'm saying? Everyone has to have a point to learn.
Jerrell.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to give the person another chance if they are willing to grow. Like, if they understand that they have something they need to work on, I think there has to be some room of forgiveness.
So let me just 2 points. Number one, it's interesting that you're saying this because this is coming from the same chick that said,
I know
that
that's
said,
the two feelings.
This bitch says it's when she talk about race relationships, it's not my job to teach you how to be a decent human being. So I find it very ironic that this chick will come out here like that.
I blame y'all heifers, okay? It's y'all fault. I now understand the gray a little bit, okay? I'm a black and white bitch. I'm over here talking about the gray, the what ifs. This is y'all fault. Y'all created this monster over here. You're welcome.
No, what she said this Ashy Aunties deserves is an element of grace. This bitch.
Right.
No.
That's funny.
Listen, what I will, so that's point number one. Now, point number two is I totally agree with you. I think if this person, and I'm speaking to you out there, Anonymous, if you believe in your heart that this person will learn from this particular situation and will not betray your trust, then it is completely up to you to do so. In my experience, in my personal opinion, and you guys may have a different one, this is a huge red flag because regardless of whatever happened in someone's past, the fact that they're bringing that into you, you have a choice on how you want to be treated. And if the very first opportunity that they have to invade your privacy, when there is no mutual expectation that you should not be talking to somebody else, and they decide to break your trust by doing so, that is a huge red flag. And if you're a person that wants drama in your life, I guarantee you're going to get it with this person. If you don't want it, you have a couple of choices that you can make. You can either see how this thing goes, or you can just say, you know what, this is not the kind of person that I want in my life, and choose to move on with somebody else.
And it kind of makes me think, honestly, for the person that is potentially wanting to give them a second chance, that's their baggage that they're bringing in to the situation that they haven't learned from previous situations, that they saw red flags all along, ended up getting burned at the end, and now they're bringing this heart of second chance to another human being that they haven't grown and learned from their previous baggage as well. So that's what I kind of almost feel in this. Is just like, oh, this is not your first time forgiving someone doing something like that. If you're that quick,
where's that line of forgiveness, though?
Like, it's literally 3 dates and you're already willing to forgive someone and you don't even know the dude like that? Like, that tells me there's a red flag on your end as well.
I think it's okay to like, and again, this is something I'm still learning, and maybe I'm just trying to understand the parameters, and maybe this is just like where the line is for forgiveness and where that line is for like situations like this. Because I think it's really subjective, because honestly, if I had a conversation, like I give everyone at least one chance. Like, everyone got one chance with me, you know, like at least once, 2 at the absolute most. So 1 or 2, you know? And so like, for me, this would have been like the first fuck up. And then after this, I'm like, nope, then I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we all have those moments where we think something or we do something, you're like, damn, that probably was not the right thing to do. And I wish I could take it back, but I know it wasn't the right thing to do, but I've already fucking done it. You know what I'm saying? And then there's the times where there are people who just do things and they don't understand or realize that they're in the wrong, and they have just a lesson that they need to just learn and go through, and they may need some additional help to get that lesson. So it's hard.
But he looked through it, and then, so that's the one thing. So you had time to look through it in the bathroom,
right?
Get out the bathroom, and then you got the nerve to get in your feelings.
He confronted the guy of that fact that the guy was having another conversation with somebody else.
Right.
You know how often I hear though about gay men, especially in our community, not understanding what's dating and what's being exclusive. I know so many people out there that think when you're dating. No, I know tons of people out there that be like, if I'm talking to you, if we're going on dates, their mindset is, I'm a one person at a time person.
I get
there
that.
are people
But
who honestly
that could be
believe
you,
that.
but it doesn't mean that's the other person. That could be you, and it doesn't mean the other person.
But you can't disregard that other people think that way. It doesn't make them
can.
wrong. It doesn't make them wrong. It doesn't make them wrong. And
the reason
that's
I
where
say
the
that
conversation came from. But that's where the conversation came from. Is maybe his mind was that I'm a one person.
But I think there's conversation, and then there's getting in your feelings. The way he worded this is getting in your feelings about it. It wasn't, oh, you know what? I did this. It's probably not right, but let me explain my baggage and my situation from my past.
But again, a person would never
like
think that. A one person at a person.
But I'm just saying, if you're one person at it, but no, I'm just saying you need to then, as a person, if you're a one-minded or one person at a time dater, you need to explain that up front, especially if we've been spending all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday together.
Yes.
You need to explain that from the front. And then that's the part you need to grow from as well, because you can't come out here in your feelings after you don't snoop through my shit. Yeah. You're going to be your feelings. And we haven't talked about this at all in the 3 days. No, that's not going to happen, boo-boo. Sorry. Yeah. Get out the door until you can grow up and communicate rightfully and not snoop through some shit.
And check that. I'm with you on that. Okay, I feel that.
Look, I think we are missing the biggest picture of it all, because we can speculate about what conversations they had beforehand. Maybe they had conversations about, we're going to be exclusive. And then he was in his apartment and he looked at his phone and he saw that, oh, well, this guy wasn't exclusive. But the reality of it is that regardless of whether they had that conversation or not, the fact of the matter is that the guy that was in the bathroom broke trust. Absolutely. You violated his not only civil rights as, having a right to privacy, because that is not acceptable. I don't care if you're a one person dater. The reality of it is you being a one person dater does not give you license to snoop through someone else's personal messages and devices to find information on that said individual. For all we know, he could have been looking for, usernames, passwords, like sexy pictures and all that kind of shit. But it's a mutual understanding. If I invite you over, if this guy invites you over for a hookup, that doesn't mean that you have carte blanche to all my shit. Right. Period. It is the exact same.
That's like me going to you guys' house and your iPad's in the bathroom. And I go through it just to see if you guys are talking bad about me or something.
Right. And then get mad at us about talking bad about you. Well, how the fuck did you find out about that? Because that was an A and B conversation. Oh, I went into your iPad. Wait a minute. You went into my motherfucking iPad?
Exactly.
No. You and I are not friends anymore. Get the fuck out of my house.
Exactly. Well, the other fucking point, too, is your iPad should be in the goddamn bathroom to begin with. You're fucking nasty. Because if you're on your iPad in the bathroom, we know exactly what you're fucking doing.
Well, you start
right. If you host people over, you know damn well you put the shit you don't want people to be in the damn bedroom, or put it away so people can't get in the shit. So you have to learn a lesson to you, Mr. Anonymous. Put your shit away. Put your good shit away.
It's that Pornhub Premium, boo. It's free right now. Shit, my bad. I was busy. I was booked and busy. Sorry. It's that Pornhub Premium, bitch. I was trying to knock one out real quick just in case we go to round 2 when you here.
And that's
look, just in case I don't knock your socks off with this meal, bitch. Just in case.
It's like, that's like old school.
Isn't that old school advice? Remember, what was that, something about Mary? It's like that old school advice. You got to knock one out before the person you really like come over.
Exactly. So you ain't prematurely ejaculating.
Right. Exactly.
So that's all that was.
That was called
Premium
prep.
Pornhub.
that was called prep. It wasn't a pill. It was just preparation for this
He got there a little earlier than planned. He got there like 15 minutes early. Bitch, I wasn't ready. I said 8 o'clock. You here at 7:45. Shit.
I
can't with y'all.
Oh, man.
I agree with you guys in the sense that is a red flag, but I still think the line of forgiveness is subjective. And if you feel that after the conversation you had with the person that there is potential for this person to change, and you feel personally that this is just a one-time thing, go for it. But if your gut feeling is telling you, nah, this bitch is crazy, run for the door, then you run for the fucking door.
Yeah.
And it's the case by case thing, because some people have it within them to be like, oh, I fucked up. I'm never going to do this again. And some people, that's just literally who they are. And it's a very fine line to navigate which type of person you're dealing with.
What I appreciate about what you said, Jerrell, is that it really does become this, and like a lot of the Ask Your Auntie questions, it becomes a question that you have to answer for yourself. Where is your line? You know, and we'll obviously give advice based on our experience or whatever, but at the end of the day, you have to determine what's going to work for you. And it's not to say that this person does this habitually, because we don't know. All we know is the 5 little lines that you wrote, Anonymous. So we don't have any other context outside of that. But the reality of it is that you have to determine, you know, is this a break of trust for you? Because some people, for damn near a lot of people, as I found out after that episode we did when we talked about how in your husband's business are you, and we were all like, no, we don't, and we're not in that. But there's a lot of other people that are completely different, which is shocking to me. Because
have you guys ever snooped before? Like not in your husband's stuff, but like even in like an ex or another relationship with someone you were dating. Have you ever snooped or tried? Yeah, I have too. Exactly, yeah, I have too.
But
and
not
I've
on the third date.
Not on the third date, but still. But the point of it is, it's not necessarily the point isn't the third date. The point is the act, which is breaking of the trust.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I have done that before too. And I've realized, I'm like, damn, Jerrell, like, have more confidence in yourself. Like, you know, it becomes one of those things where you're like, fuck what the other person is doing. If that's what they want to do, go ahead, boo boo, go do you. Because guess what? Bam, this bitch is bomb. And I know what I bring to the goddamn table. So, you know what? Go ahead and set the key to the table if you want to. Right. Yeah. But I got there is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And so I had to go through, you know, unfortunately, and I'm very grateful for those individuals that took the time to, you know, work through that with me in my relationships, or broke up with me in those relationships because she wasn't there yet. That forced me to learn that shit about myself. You know, like, sometimes you just have to go through to learn. You just can't just all of a sudden just have the knowledge. You just sometimes have to.
Well, Fantasia say sometimes you got to lose to win again. Come on, Fantasia.
Look. Just saying. So I don't know. I mean,
honestly, I've never been. And this may just be a personal thing or whatever, but I've never been the type of person that snooped through anyone else's stuff. I always feel like at the end of the day, I wouldn't want somebody snooping through my stuff, but like a lot of like my stuff has always been like, for the most part, unlocked. You know, because that's not the life that I live in. I'm not living in a place where I have things that I need to hide from somebody. And I want to be upfront and honest about, you know, what's going on you know, for the most part. It's not to say that I've never lied and I've never like whatever, but at the end of the day, I've never snooped in, you know, like my partner, my boyfriend, or it's definitely not somebody that I'm hooking up with. I've never snooped in any of their stuff. The most that I've ever done was looked in somebody's medicine cabinet. That's the most.
I mean, I have snooped and I've caught someone actually cheating, and then I waited until they were actually, you know, going to convene and meet up together. And I bust up in that goddamn room and I acted a plump ass fool, and the popo was called.
Know you did.
Absolutely.
Right.
You damn fucking right. So I've been on the winning side of snooping. Finding what I didn't know. Because at the time, like it, and I think the main reason why I overreacted, because we had been together for over a year and we were also having sex unprotected. And we were getting sex together. Like there was a privacy thing between us, but then he was also doing that with someone who he introduced me as his best friend at the time too, mind you. And I was like, why don't your best friend like me? Why don't your best friend? That's why, because they were fucking on the same, and they were fucking on the sideline too. But he was also fucking him unprotected too. I lost my mind. I was like, bitch, you put my life in danger? Oh, hell no. It was a mess. It was a wrap after that. And she didn't. So that being said, that has also like, it had also
Shaped.
like, because now it kind of encouraged me to listen to my gut and to snoop more. And then right.
I think it's supposed to be flipped.
No, because had I not snooped, no, because you're missing the point of the story. Like, had I not snooped, I would have never known that he was cheating on me.
But I'm just saying that means you need to build up your gut first, is all I was saying. And that's what time teaches you, you know?
And that's what I was saying. Like, so I didn't build up my gut. I built up my gut as far as like, you know, like trust, like if I felt like I need to go look in something, then go look in something. You know, like believing in that gut
is, like,
feeling.
if your gut is telling you need to go look,
That's
the
something that the
flip
relationship.
right there.
Well, so then
If the gut is already telling you to look, then you don't need to look.
And
you know your answer already.
Right, but but that goes in the direction of also believing yourself. So I wasn't going in that direction of, you know, believing myself. I was going the opposite direction of being like, then look, bitch, get your answer, etc. So I went the long route around to coming back to my confidence.
We all know that you got 5 feelings, that you're getting there, girl.
Exactly. No, she up to like 9 now. She's almost at a good 2 hands.
But men ain't shit will always be my number one. Just saying. Like
men are dogs, low key. We're not, but we are. Until you grow, I should say.
I don't disagree with either one of you guys. I don't disagree with you guys with you guys at all. I just feel like, you know, if at the end of the day, if you are feeling like you have to like snoop or sneak or, you know, try to like machinate a way to figure out the truth instead of having the conversation.
Ooh,
you know,
she's
got a good dictionary, girl.
It's been a minute. You haven't used some big words in a little bit. That's a good one.
But if you feel like you have to do that instead of just having the conversation, that's a problem, and that's where the maturity comes in. Honestly, you should be able to have the conversation, and if you don't believe what that person is saying, that's when you trust your gut.
Yeah, it takes time. It definitely takes some time to get there. But, you know, until then, just make sure you learning, you know, like just, you know, like if you decide to go with the person and it doesn't work, take the lesson from it. Like, make sure you learn from your choices. Just don't be making choices and just disregarding them in the future. Like, do your homework. Knowledge is power. If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, bitch, it's a fucking duck. Period.
And I have to tell you, it is not normal. That's not normal. Like that is not normal.
No third date.
If you individually believe that behavior is normal, I'm here to tell you that is not.
I want to know what meal he cooked. That meal got him in love real quick. What you cooking, girl? He said, I made them ham hock, you know, put that in the greens. You know, I made some chicken. I fried that shit. I had that bitch in my hands because he fell in love. But anyway, thank you for that question. Continue to send us, I should say, man, I can't talk. Continue to send us your Ask Your Aunties questions.
I want to follow up to that. Anonymous, if you listening, we need a follow up. I want to know what you decided to do. Is the person still crazy?
Yeah,
is he?
That's true. Probably. Oh Lord!
Look, this person gonna be home. This person gonna be homeless, and all their possessions gonna be stolen from them. They're be like, "Why did I listen to my aunties?"
For real though. Well, speaking of homeless, though, a cool thing that's going on right now, here in Atlanta is with the whole coronavirus thing. There's a group called Love Beyond Walls that have set up about 15 stations throughout the city for the homeless population here to wash their hands because they were volunteering and kept hearing a man say, "Hey, I'm scared to catch the virus because I don't have anywhere to literally wash my hands." And so the guy that is the founder and CEO of Love Beyond Walls reached out to his friend, which happened to be Lecrae, the gospel rapper, and the gospel rapper helped fund getting these set up throughout the city, and the Love Beyond Walls continues to go and clean the stations and refilling with water and things like that. So that's awesome to see people stepping up throughout this crazy time right now and making sure that the homeless population is set as well set as can be. Because if you don't have any place to literally wash yourself, and a lot of the shelters are filled already, you're almost like a forgotten person out there, like fighting coronavirus on your own, just simply because you can't wash your hands.
But just also seeing people out there like do work for the homeless, like I'm amazed at how little. No, it's not amazed. I'm disappointed at how little of the coverage, especially with the news that I've seen about the actual government doing stuff. You know, for the homeless. You know, like it really breaks my heart to see how little people are caring about the lower class and the homeless. Like, it's just, there needs to be some type of resolution or a solution or something for people that need this help. And I'm just tired, and it breaks my heart to hear so many people, and even those who aren't homeless, who are now laid off and don't got jobs, they don't have any income, and who they don't know how they're going to pay their rent. I mean, like, this is like, it's almost like funneling them into the same type of situation as some of those who are currently already homeless. You know, like, what is the government doing to actually take care of these people to avoid the homeless population growing even fucking more? So it makes me happy to see, they have a platform, but just to see people stepping up and using their platform for people that are the most often looked and forgotten makes me happy.
Yeah, because there was even another lady I know posted on maybe IG or Facebook, I forget now, where she literally went to her Walgreens and everything, and got all like vitamin C's, got some little Tropicana waters, got little hand sanitizers, and was just passing out to the homeless population and saying, hey, continue to use a hand sanitizer, stock up your on vitamin C as best you can with the immune system. And she also gave them like 2 hamburgers from McDonald's, put them in like a gallon-sized Ziploc, and was handing them out her car, literally, to the population, which makes me think, I'm like, oh God, Corot, like, what can I do? Because I'm always the one, and Corey kind of makes fun of me sometimes because it could be the same person that I see on the side. He's like, clearly they aren't trying to better themselves. If it's the same person we've seen for 3 years on the same, it's like, I get it in theory. However, I can't control what they do after I see it. All I could do is I see them on the sideline or on the side of the road, and if I have $1, I could give them $1. Thank you, Lord, for blessing me enough to be able to afford to do so. What they do with it, I can't control that part, but at least God sees the intent in my heart to be able to help where I can. Or whether it be literally the other day, I went to Kroger, came home, and I was like, oh, I forgot something, so I had to run back out, and there was a guy on the side of the road, so I ran to McDonald's real quick, got him a little number, whatever, ran back and gave it to him. And it's just like little stuff like that. It's like, if I can afford to do it, I'm gonna try to help, And it's just like, you see situations like that. It's awesome to just see your neighbor out there helping the community. Hopefully it's yourself trying to help the community, whatever it may be, because like Jerrell said, there are parts of society that are so easily overlooked, and they're dealing with the same shit we're dealing with, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like, we're all scared of this virus. We're all scared to try to not get this. We want to live. And if it's as simple as me washing my hands and having a station to do that, that's incredible.
No, I have to shout out Joan, and I'm glad that she's introing this episode because I'm actually working with her to launch a new service. She has a healthcare application which has a series of modules, and she just created this new module called UDI Inventory. And the whole purpose of this module that was created was for hospitals and any kind of healthcare worker, if you're a doctor, a dentist, or anyone that provides health services. This module allows you to digitize your inventory and then identify any surplus that you have, because as there's so many needs for things like surgical masks, ventilators, surgical gowns, gloves, and things like that. And the reality of it is that the current supply and the supply and demand field right now has been completely depleted. So you can't get any of it. Yeah. But there are hospitals and other healthcare facilities out there that actually have a surplus because they're not seeing as much of a influx in their particular area. And the time to create those things have a lead time that outweighs the 14 days of gestation for this particular virus. So I say all that to say that she's created this website and this new module called hospitalprepare.org. And what the module does is creates this digital inventory by scanning the barcodes, and it allows these individuals to identify what supplies they have that are surplus, and allows others to go in there and see what surplus supplies exist and then be able to network internally. Awesome. And the cool thing about it is she's designed it and she's making it free. Awesome. So there's no charge whatsoever, because the reality of it is that human lives matter more than making a buck. And
yes,
it's just like, I love
Say that again for the old boy in the White House.
Human lives matter more than making a buck.
Okay, thank you.
It's that simple. And I commend her for doing this. And, it's an amazing thing. I encourage you guys to go out there and check it out. But, I feel like in this time, we truly are, and we say this all the time, it's unprecedented. Never, have I ever in my lifetime or, through schooling have ever heard of a time that is like this, where the entire country gets shut down.
No.
And so,
the whole
traditional
globe
ways, right.
shut down.
So like
That's
traditional
crazy.
ways of working, traditional ways of volunteering, traditional ways of lending support are kind of out the door. Now we have to be creative. And so like having something like, the Beyond the Walls or the the hospitalprepare.org and these other kinds of initiatives, this is where people's ingenuity, talents, and creativity really come through to be able to do the good work that we're meant to be able to do on this earth.
I agree. And another area that we need to be creative and change laws and change just the practices that are going is also with donating blood. A lot of people out there do not know that gay men or men that have sex with men cannot donate blood. And here we are seeing daily at this point how they're literally, it's an outcry for blood right now because donations have dropped off because of coronavirus. No one's going out there donating blood. They don't want to be out in a hospital. They don't want to be out in anywhere to potentially catch this virus. However, you have a subset of the community called men that sleep with men, gay men, bisexual men, that for years and decades have been fighting to try to be able to donate blood. And it started in 1983, and finally in 2015, they said, you could donate blood now if you haven't had sex with a man in the last year. Yet straight men can pass STIs and whatever.
It's the last within the last year.
It's within 12 months now. Okay. And then now they're trying to fight to at least limit it to 3 months, which is still crazy because
why does it matter?
Fears. How it came about was when the pandemic of AIDS started, they didn't know what they know now. Okay, I get it at the time being. Cool. However, you're educated now, technology is a lot better, and you're also scanning every single pint of blood out there for HIV, for STIs, for viruses, etc. So you're already doing that due diligence on quote-unquote straight people's blood.
Right.
What's the difference now for the gay community? Like, what's the difference? And so here it is, there's an outcry for blood because regular life, even though, yes, you might not be on the road as much, accidents are still happening, traumas are still happening where they need blood. Here's a community that you could tap into literally to provide and help this transition.
Yeah.
And we need to outcry because literally I post this on Facebook and things like that, and a lot of straight allies don't even know this is a thing. A lot of people have no clue that this is still a thing. So
this has been a thing for the last 40 years, guys. 40 years since the early 80s.
37 years, yeah.
Since the early 80s, we have known what the cause of HIV transmission is. We know how it gets prevented, and we've had measures in place specifically related to blood transfusions and blood collection. So the fact that this has been going on for 40 years and we're still in this place is ridiculous.
So we need to push. I posted something on our Facebook page where there's a petition going around right now pushing and urging the FDA to change this to at least 3 months, which is still crazy, but at least that's still progression. I encourage you guys to go out there and sign it. I encourage you guys to speak out and post it on your sites, especially for families that might not know this exists out there. So
look, if this pandemic continues the way that it is, then look, by the time we get out of this stay in place or work in place or whatever the hell they call it will be past that 3 months.
You ain't never lied on that. Look. That's true. That is a valid statement, honestly. And I would be crazy enough to frame it that way. Honestly, it's just you need blood. You need blood.
And the reality of it is you need the blood right now.
Exactly.
That's the reality. We don't need it 3 months from now. We need it right now.
ASAP. So yes, allies out there, continue to post if you have been or if you haven't been. Continue to let people know that, wow, my gay brothers out here can't donate at all. Yeah. Simply because they have sex with a man. It doesn't matter because they're testing the blood. And there's still nasty-ass straight dudes out there too. Nasty-ass straight women. So I don't get the concept and the thought process behind it. So anyway, that's my little soapbox for today. Jerrell, I know you had a couple questions you wanted to ask Dawon, and I'm kind of scared to see what it is.
I do have a couple questions. I'm gonna ask one first because the other one, if we don't get to it because of time purposes, it's okay. But during this quarantine time, I've been just thinking about like, I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting, and that's kind of just who I am as a person. Even when it's not a quarantine, like I'm always just thinking about like how to be the best version I can be, and just growing. And that's because I have like nieces and nephews that look to me and stuff like that. So I just want to be a really good male role model. But as I was reflecting on the things that I enjoy and that I don't, I was thinking to myself, like, what is something you're good at, but you hate doing? Do you guys have something that you're good at, but you hate doing it? Like for me, it's being nice. Like, no, I'm kidding. It's not being nice. No, I'm kidding.
No. Good that's at interesting. Something that I'm good at that I hate doing. Sometimes for me, and it's been like this way my whole life, I've always been able to figure shit out. Like and everybody knows it. That's the problem now, is because ultimately, whether it be family members or friends or your husband or whatever it may be, sometimes they might not put the full thought process for themselves because they know Carell. Oh, let me just ask Carell, and Carell will figure it out. And so I'm good at it too. Like I'm good at researching it. I'm good at analyzing it. I'm good at coming up with an answer and a conclusion. There you go. However, I don't always want to take that on just because I'm good at it. So I don't know if I certainly hate it, because ultimately at the end of the day, I would want to help somebody else. But sometimes it does become a burden because there's already stuff that's on your plate or in your mind that you're trying to figure out for yourself. And someone else might come and ask you that, or you got this or this and that. And you're like, hold on. Like, I need time to figure out shit for myself first. And it's always probably been hard for me to block everyone else's shit out, to let myself figure it out, my stuff first, and then be able to help whomever out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't know.
Yeah, so. What about you, Dawon?
Cleaning. I'm good at it, but I hate it. That's why I pay somebody to do it. Honestly. I hate... I'm a very neat and organized person. I'm not OCD, but I like my house to look a certain kind of way. And there's just shit that I can do, that I do very well and can do very well, but I refuse to do it. And when my coins got such that I can bring a bitch in here who can, scrub down my toilets and, clean the kitchen for me, you know what? Have at it, girl.
I know that.
So, yeah. I, honestly, like most of the stuff that I think that I'm good at, I enjoy. The stuff that I don't like, the stuff that I don't enjoy, I feel like, like it's number one, it's a waste of time. And number two, there's a better way to get it done because I just don't enjoy doing it. So for me, it's about figuring out how do I get this shit done without figuring out how do I get it done.
Right.
Yeah. For me, I think it would be like planning parties, or like hosting people. Like I'm good at bringing people together and like creating an environment where people are just like having a great time. Like I'm good at creating a space where the vibe is just great, But I hate doing that because I find myself just always caring about how everyone else is doing, that I don't get to enjoy those vibes as much. But I also realize, though, like part of creating that vibe is taking care of other people and making sure that everyone else is good, Yeah. So it's kind of like a lose-lose for me, Like if I'm just there, just focusing on myself, then I know the chance of the people having a good time and the vibe being great and high goes down,
See, it's so funny you say that because I love having people over. I love like hosting little events and things like that. And I'm always in host mode. Like even when, you and Fiznik came, to visit or whatever, it's like, okay, what do you guys need? Do you need this? I kind of thought about this and let's do this and da 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 da. And like, it's not at that point, I like the Dawon shuts off and it's all about whoever's there. And I know like, when, I've had like larger parties and I've had like, when I lived in Columbus or Chicago or whatever, I would have a whole bunch of people over and I would never really like, quote unquote, enjoy the party because I was always in host mode. Do you have something to drink? Have you had something to eat? Are you comfortable? Is the temperature in here okay? Are you guys having a good time? Is the music okay? Like, I'm always in that mood. So it's interesting that that's kind of the thing that you picked up on.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong. Like, I love doing it. I just like when people talk about the experience, they're like, oh, that was so much fun, blah, blah. I'm like, I find myself being like, oh, well, I was refilling a glass, or I was cleaning something that was someone's. I was making sure people had snacks. Like, the things that I was doing was not the same as the people that was there. And that's the part that makes me hate it, because I feel like I don't get to vibe in that space like everyone else does, because I'm so busy maintaining said vibe that everyone enjoys. But again, I love doing it. I naturally do it because I'm good at it, and I do a good job of keeping, good people around.
You wish you could experience it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason I hate it. So.
See, that's when you get them coins, and then you hire people who can throw the party for you. You get the party planners and the hostesses. I don't think Jerrell would fully be
able to let go of it.
I sure cannot. Carell, you are damn right. I could not let go.
She wouldn't be able to let go.
Honestly, I understand why some people are bridezillas, because I will just be that person. Well, did you do this? Did you do this?
Right.
Did you check on this person? And the person will be like, well, what the fuck am I doing here? Taking my money. That's what you're doing, getting free money. But you might as well just enjoy the goddamn party, because now you a motherfucking guest, because I done took over this shit. So there you go,
That's hilarious.
I'm similar that way, though, too. So I think we all kind of got that same thread. Corey, definitely. Corey loves hosting, but then sometimes it almost gives him anxiety.
When he has 13 people staying at his place?
Honestly, that is a prime example. Because like you said, he shuts down Corey. And he wants to make sure everyone's okay. And then once everything's done, then he's like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. What? And even if you don't ask him to do the stuff, I'm like, you don't have to cook. You don't have to do that.
Easter baskets. By the way, Corey, if you're listening, I want another Easter basket, girl. Even though I had glitter in my suitcase and in my clothes for weeks after, the Easter basket was so cute and so bomb. I still think about that Easter basket. So,
and he was obsessing about that Easter basket the whole week before. He's like, oh, I gotta go get this from Home Goods, and then I'm like, you don't have to do all of that. But that's the part where he enjoys doing it, but then it just drains him so much, especially that many people in the house, that after he's like, oh, I don't like it because I feel like I always have to do that. And so I'm like, well, that's on you, girl. Nobody asked you. You got to deal with that for yourself.
Like the time I almost died in the house because of the fog machine, that was...
And so he gets upset when I say stuff like that, because I'm like, honestly, it's not that we didn't enjoy it and didn't appreciate it and everything. I enjoyed it and I'm glad you did it, but I don't want you to feel that you have to do that.
Right.
I just don't, especially when it was a bulk of it was my friends. Yes, everyone's gets along with Corey, but they're my core group of friends. So I don't want you to feel like you have to put that burden on yourself kind of thing. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay.
And we got a little time. What's your other question?
Right. Okay. So, so the other question, and the reason why I was thinking about this, because again, during the quarantine time, again, self-reflecting and stuff like that. So I found myself thinking about my relationship, and, we're good, we're still together and everything. But I find myself asking myself, am I the one in a relationship who loves him more, or does he love me more in a relationship? Or is it even possible? Do you guys think it's possible for, do you think someone loves someone more in a relationship than the other person?
I guess I never.
I think it's possible. So yes, it's definitely possible, because there are just some people that are in a relationship and they don't love the other person altogether.
True.
Right? So we know that it is. But I also think that, there's such a thing as loving people differently. The way that I love Adam and the way that Adam loves me is completely different, because we're wired differently. And I can't measure, the amount of love and how Adam chooses to expresses that love, towards me, by the same criteria that I would measure myself, because we're two completely different.
Snaps.
So
yes.
So it's, for me, it's yes, you can love people. You can have people in a relationship where one loves one more than the other. I mean, listen to our Ask Your Aunties.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we can have that situation happen, you know, but I do think that, you know, we're so, and I could just be, you know, the only one on this boat and I can stand on this island all by myself. But we are so conditioned through television and media to think that love has to look a certain kind of way.
Right.
And it doesn't, because we are individual, unique, beautifully diverse individual human beings. And we do things from, you know, the wholeness of the experience that we bring into that relationship. And so, you know, yes, we can have dialogue around what I want versus what I need, but but to quantify someone's love, you know, against how you would measure how you love that person, it's hard to do that. Now, if they're treating you poorly, that's a different story. But if they're not treating you poorly and they have love and passion for you, then, you know, they may just love you different, but it's not like it's like saying like, it's like, you know, like you have love for your siblings or your best friends. Like I have 4 best friends in my life and I love them differently. And I can't say I love one more than the other, you know, but I love them differently for very different reasons.
Right.
And it's expressed differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and I almost think there could honestly be almost ebbs and flows throughout a relationship as well. Like you're not always going to be on 10. And I think that might be the biggest thing that a lot of times in movies, they like have you running off and living happily ever after.
Holding hands and,
you know,
star
and it's
eyes.
not like that every day. It honestly isn't. And it's okay to know that, you know? That today I might love you at a 7, tomorrow might be a 23, but over time it's going to even out and I love you consistently enough, hopefully. And I think you mentioned it earlier, like your love languages. I think you learn that over time, especially if you're in a longer relationship. You kind of know what they appreciate for love, whatever it may be. I think sometimes it's hard, like Dawon was saying, what naturally how I express my love might be differently than how they receive it sometimes. But I think as time goes on, you know, oh, you know what? I know they for sure like to be touched or they like to get a gift or whatever it may be. And that, I think you're just more cognizant of that and aware to be like, oh, let me make sure I do this just simply because I know they enjoy it. It might not be the way I like to express my love to you, but I know they're going to accept it. So I'm going to go that extra mile to make sure it's their love language. And I think that might be the biggest thing that I've probably learned in this long-term relationship is because the way I express my love and the way Corey expresses his love are completely different. And our love languages are completely different. But over time, we've learned to be like, I know that Carell's going to like this. Let me just do it because it means a lot to him, even though it might not mean shit to me and vice versa. Like me, I love probably like acts of affirmation. Like those are my two
words of affirmation.
Just saying like, Carell, you know what? You look nice today. Or Carell, that's a good job. Good job on that. Or taking the time to get a card and writing something in it. That means way more to me than you buying me whatever fancy thing, whatever. Yes, I appreciate it. I understand it. I see that's love. But for it to really hit me, probably the affirmation almost part of it is really where I'm like, oh, and I get welled up and teared up and things like that. Corey loves gifts. He thinks that's the definition of love when he gets a gift or something monetary. So I know that, okay, here and there, let me go out and buy him something or let me get some flowers for him or whatever, just because that's how he receives it. It naturally for Corey, for him, probably cooking and things like that. That's how he's easily is able to say, I like you as a human being. So if Corey cooks for anybody out there, that means he at least accepts you into his space because he took the time to throw down in the kitchen. If he doesn't do it, he might not like you that much, you know? For me, in my head, how I receive it, I'm like, hey, you got to eat too. So that's why you really cooking. But I've learned over time, that's him saying, hey, I took time out of my day to go to the grocery store, pick this up, cook a meal that you like, et cetera, et cetera. And now, years later, and growing and learning, I can accept that, be like, even though that's not exactly the way I need love, I can now be like, I know that's him making an attempt to say, hey, Carell, I see you, boo. And so that's, I think, just over time that you learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this relationship has been that for me. This has been a relationship that has taught me that there are different love languages, and how I love is different from someone else. And
Absolutely.
I found myself just reflecting on just like my old self, and like how mad I would get at other people and think they weren't doing enough for me. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's just not how they loved, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then that's what made me think about that question too. Cause it was just like, this whole time I was just thinking that, you know, for some of those other relationships and stuff like that, or just even friendships, you know, like, oh, that person just didn't love me enough, you know, and that's why they didn't do it. It's just, you know, simply not how they love, you know?
Exactly.
And so that's been my biggest thing in this relationship.
It's funny that you say that, because like, I know it's wild how like, so this must be like a little bit of the universe talking to us, because like we've used love languages like through this entire thing, and we hadn't even planned on talking about this at all.
Right. Sure.
But it's just
I had no idea about the questions.
and it's just so interesting, because, you know, like when I think about me and Adam's relationship, Adam's love language, we haven't done it together, but if I were to imagine what his is, it would be words of affirmation, because he understands love when you can tell him, you know, what you appreciate about him, what you love about him, you know, what makes you happy about him, and really kind of celebrate him. And that's his love language. Mine is quality time. Okay. I want to spend time with people. So like with my friend, like with him, you know, I would say, Adam, you know, I'm just watching this. Can you just come in here and sit with me? And he could be on his like, you know, laptop or whatever. I just want him there.
Yeah.
Like we don't even have to be doing anything. I just want him there.
Right.
You know, with my brother, my sister, my mom, you know, with my friends. Like I came out, you know, to Dallas, you know, to spend time with you guys. I came out to, you know, I took a job interview with fucking whatchamacallit, with Amazon, so I could come out to see you guys on somebody else's dime. But but you know, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, for me, quality time is so important. Spending time with people that I care about. Like if one of my friends moves away and I say, I'm going to visit you, guess what? I'm coming to visit you, because that's how I show love. And like, that's what I appreciate. Like when you guys are like, you know, well, maybe I should come to New York. Is it come and stay with me? Yeah. Come on, stay with me. I don't care. We can have 10, 15, 20 people in the household, but it's okay because we're all together. So it's just really interesting that you brought this question up, because it does, and what I hope, it sparks a conversation internally with, you know, the listeners about, well, damn, well, what is my love language? Like, how do I like to be loved? How do I express love? What are the things that irk me that, you know, that like it's offending my love language because I'm not getting what I want?
Right. Yeah. And that's literally growth, though. And it is. And it's not to say that every day is, like I think I said, rainbows and sprinkles last week, because I constantly have to remind myself sometimes of the love languages.
Same.
Because like Jerrell, you say some days you're like, I just don't feel like you're loving me. I feel like you don't love me right now, this and that. But once you stop and actually look at the situation, be like, hold on, they did do this. Oh, they did say that. They did. Be like, okay, my bad. You know, you're expressing it what comes naturally for you.
Yeah, because you understand their love language. And you're like,
and I still need to accept that, because that's love. They are literally telling you that they love you, and you're just almost rejecting it because it's not what you want for that day. Yes, I get it. Sometimes you just want what you want. But if you take a step back sometimes to take your ego out of it and be like, oh, damn, hold on. They did X, Y, Z. Okay.
And that's when the old school saying, like, it's the thought that counts sometimes. Like, that's when you have to think about that. You're like, you know, they were trying to show their love to me in this way. It may not have they may not have landed the plane on the correct runway.
It might have been a little turbulent.
But, you know, but the plane is on the ground.
Exactly. So honestly, that might, like, for people that are single or dating right now, that honestly might be my biggest piece of advice. Like, I don't want to tell people what to do. You got to learn on your own. But if you could learn how you express love, like Dawon said, and how you receive love,
it's huge.
It will make relationships going onward so much easier for yourself, because you can identify it.
It actually it's called love language because it actually empowers you to have a very impactful and important conversation about what you need. And a lot of people think and act in a way that other people should just know somehow intrinsically know what you want and what you need, but they are not you. They are not in your brain. They didn't have your upbringing. They don't know what baggage you have. They don't know this stuff. So like, unless you can articulate for them or demonstrate for them in a very specific way so that they can receive it, what your love language is, then they're stabbing in the dark. Yeah. And that's why I love, this book, because it actually gives you language. It gives you the ability to communicate and pinpoint for yourself. Oh, I feel loved when when this is expressed to me. And that allows you to kind of coach and guide. It's like, if you like to bottom a certain kind of way, and you need to tell somebody, who's hitting it wrong, you need to tell them, no, I don't like it.
Be like, smack my ass like this,
Yes. Right. It's the same damn thing.
It's true. And you can be multiple languages too. So
because I'm too. Because for me, it's literally like words of affirmations and physical touch. And then physical, and then Fiznik, I think he's the opposite as well. Like quality time, and then acts of service are his two things. That's
my other one.
Making sure that I spend time with him, and that we are focusing on us. Because I'm a busybody too. I work 2 jobs, and then if I'm not working, I want to be with my friends, I want to work out. And then so that making that time for us to have a meal, and then watch a TV show that we enjoy, or just listen to some music, or make a meal together. Those are the type of things that he thrives on. And then simple stuff like wiping down the counter, or once dinner is made, making sure that I load the dishwasher or I clean the pots and pans
Corey
and
loves that
stuff
too.
like that. Those are those acts of service.
That's how you can tell when I'm probably mad at him though. Because I'm like, bitch, I ain't doing shit. How about that?
You didn't dirty up all those dishes. You wash them your damn self.
You just destroyed the freaking kitchen. You do it your damn self. You know how to cook cleanly. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Oh man, but okay. Community, make sure you subscribe, download, share with your friends, your family. Hang in there. We know quarantining and lockdown ain't the most fun thing on earth, and maybe for some it is a good time. But make sure you continue to wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass.
And check it on your people. Check it on your people.
2 things. Don't forget. So we have our 1-year anniversary episode coming up. So I know y'all probably been seeing us doing some posts every day, girl, and we're gonna keep it up. And y'all have been really coming through. So we have 2 new segments that we're gonna do. We have the superlatives, TEA, because we love ourselves a pun. But a superlative is basically that thing you did in high school in the yearbook, where you said most likely to succeed, class clown, but we're going to do one of that for Minority Report. So if you guys think of, the most likely or the least likely or the most whatever, class whatever, come up with those, hit us up on our DMs and let us know. We'll add it to the list. And then we will answer those on our 1-year anniversary coming up in a couple weeks. Ooh. And the other one, do you want to tell them what the other one is?
The other one is what? Ask with your auntie. Kiki with your auntie. And that one's just another one where it's just we want you guys to get to know us even more. I mean, we share a lot, but sometimes you might not even know the simple stuff like, crap, what's your favorite color? Or it could be something deep, whatever it may be. But ask us, and it could be a rebuttal. Say, Jerrell, you said this in episode blah, blah, blah. Why do you feel that way? Or this is what I'm thinking. Have you ever thought about this? Deep dive on us. It could be specific to one of the aunties, or it could be to all of us, whatever it may be. But Kiki with your auntie, just to get to know us a little more. Yes, we share a lot, but there's probably even more that we could share.
He said deep dive. Don't deep dive in my ass like that. We ain't doing that, okay? Look, don't get the words mixed up, okay?
Like the straight
deep dive
say,
in the DMs and the comments.
Is that a pause moment? Don't deep dive in my ass.
Meanwhile, in her post, she was like, "What that mouth do?" She put it all out there in the street.
I was just letting the community know there ain't no limits. Ain't no limits. I'm letting the community know. And you can ask any kind of question you want to ask.
Honestly.
That's right.
So it's still a little different than the Ask Your Aunties. Those are kind of focused on you guys, situations you're going through. The Kiki with your auntie is literally if there's something curious about us that you've been dying to ask us or want to know, hey, shoot it at us and we'll let you know. And I guess until then, anything else? Anything on your heart?
That's it, y'all.
Look, be safe. Don't touch anything except your man, your boo, yourself.
Oh, you're so right.
And then tell us what
I raced around and had to touch myself.
Hey,
It goes
come on,
my
Tweet.
skirt up over my head.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oops. I'm gonna have to listen to that song now. I haven't heard that.
I know.
That's so
There
cute.
goes my skirt. Just up into my
knee.
Oh my.
Oh my. I'm so mad that her career didn't blow up the way that it should have because she had the machine behind him and it just did not go anywhere.
She had both Missy and Timberland behind her.
Right.
Just didn't. She had them 2 songs and that was it.
Yeah.
She had that.
Yep.
Call me.
Yeah.
She did.
I like that song.
But that Oops song, girl, you could put that on. That song has aged like fine wine. You could put that on today and it could sound like it dropped today.
Yeah.
Ew, 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 ew. I'm like, come on, Timberland. All right, community. Enjoy the rest of your week.
All right,
Have
bye,
a good one,
y'all.
guys. See ya.